How's it going, guys? Raj here. I hope you guys are doing well. Tonight I'm going to be talking about 3 fragrances from the house of Xerjoff, more specifically from their Sospiro line, and they are Laylati, Wardasina and Capriccio. So the first 2 are in order simply because the scent Wardasina is based on Laylati. So let's talk about Laylati, and also the names of the fragrances are down below in the description box along with the timeline. Laylati starts off with top notes of herbal notes. They're not saying what type of herbal notes. Middle notes of cedar and patchouli. A base of vanilla, tobacco and musk. Pricing for these Sospiro's collection range from around €255 for 100 ml. Some are around the 174 mark. I know Wardasina goes up to 300, so it's a bit of a range for 100 ml bottles. So Laylati. Well, Laylati is basically a fragrance that is dominated by cedar, tobacco and patchouli. It's a herbal fragrance in the opening. It's kind of like a dry, tobacco-y herbalness, what I get in the opening. Quickly the fragrance develops into a smooth tobacco, dry cedar fragrance, quite smoky but also smooth at the same time. It is again, like quite a few in the Sospiro line, quite rich, quite opulent, quite a luxurious fragrance. It's really enjoyable, it's really addictive. The tobacco note I believe adds to the smokiness, but it's all very gentle and kind of well mannered. It's not a rough, over the top tobacco. It's not dense, it's just very well put together and has a nice amount of complexity to it without going overboard. It lasts a long time, and it reminds me of another fragrance I own called Black Afghano from Nasamato. It's quite popular, I'm sure chances are you guys would have heard about it. Black Afghano has an oud note and is a bit more punchier than Laylati, but Laylati has more emphasis on the tobacco and woody facets without the oud. Doesn't have the tenacity of a Black Afghano, but is still, a worthy alternative. A great sort of fragrance in the Sospiro line. Okay, so let's go on to Wardasina. Wardasina, as I said, is based on Laylati, but they've added in 2 notes. So in addition to the herbs, the cedarwood, the patchouli, the vanilla, the tobacco and the musk, there is also Bulgarian rose and saffron. And Wardasina is, I have it on, in the opening is a very powdery, potpourri style rose. If you like Lyric Man from Amouage, and maybe Lyric Woman, although I don't know that fragrance, I think you'll like Wardasina. It has a similar style of rose. It's not my style that I prefer in a rose-based fragrance. It's a little bit too kind of like kind of what you'd find in these sachets which you put into your clothes cupboard to scent your clothes. It's just not my style of rose. But as the rose kind of dies away, you are left with what essentially is Laylati, but still a bit more spicier. The Laylati notes are still there, but Wardasina goes on off a little bit of a different direction with the added spice note with the saffron. It's not really my thing, and I kind of think that if you have Laylati, just stick with that, I mean, unless you really love this type of rose. It's a good one, but yeah, I can't see myself buying it, but it is a good fragrance. Moving on now to Capriccio. So Capriccio, the notes of this are, in the top there's neroli and lemon. Middle notes of white flowers, they don't say what white flowers. Cinnamon, red fruits, coumarin. Base notes of patchouli, sandalwood, cashmeran, vetiver, amber, oud and musk. Now this is actually my scent of the day, and this is something else. This is quite an exotic fragrance. It's quite an alluring fragrance. It has a nice amount of sillage and is a great performer. It starts off with a freshness about it. It starts off on my skin with this white floral note. It doesn't become over the top nauseating. It doesn't become anything too soapy or too heady. It is just a gentle white floral which is mixed in there with a kind of boozy alcoholic type, maybe I don't know, like a sort of pear, a very fragrant fruit, like maybe a pear. I know it says red fruit, but I get kind of like maybe a red pear, you know, something like that. It's really nice. It's a type of scent that I feel is very unisex, but I think would be worn best on a woman. Now I wear it and I can see myself buying this bottle, but I can just imagine a kind of powerful, strong woman wearing this. And equally a man who's confident in himself, who likes to explore the more luxurious, richer, opulent scents, all words which can be used to describe many Sospiro fragrances. And this is essentially what you get. Then as the fragrance develops, it warms up. The oud comes through, and it is a sweet oud complemented by this kind of sweet sandalwood note, and it's very warm in the base. This amberiness adds to this kind of thick sweetness that just hangs in the air and just envelops you. It's a very comforting scent, and actually is very addictive. It's a great scent. Capriccio, if you can get your hands on a sample or get your nose on these fragrances, I know that the Sospiro line is not exactly very well distributed. That might change, but if you can, these are the type of fragrances that I love, and I love to explore because they offer something different. They offer something that is stimulating, and are just a joy to smell. Now, Wardasina, I may not buy that, but it was still a good experience. Laylati, I'm not 100% sure because, you know, I have Black Afghano, and I feel this is kind of like a nice alternative, but do I need an alternative? I'm not sure. I could see myself buying it. Capriccio, yeah, it's at the top of the to buy list. So there you go, guys. Another video where I'm talking about Xerjoff fragrances. I've been wearing nothing but Xerjoff samples and decants. Most days in the near future, I'll be doing that also. And yeah, I think the next video I might be talking about the join the club fragrance called More Than Words. Xerjoff Homme from the XJ1717 line. And we've got some Casa Marati fragrances in there too. So yeah, a lot to come, and take care, guys. Let me know your thoughts on these if you have tried them, and it's always great interacting with you and hearing your thoughts also. Cheers, guys. Bye.